welcome to Blessed Violence.
Oh, yeah. Blessed Violence.
Welcome to this episode of Blessed Violence as we're going to recap UFC Fight Night that happened last night. I think it was UFC Fight Night 91. Vegas. Yeah, I think it was 91. Pavlovich versus Blades. And do we have a lot to talk about? We have a guy that I think has the right to call a title fight. We had a accidental clash of heads that ended up being turned into a no contest. And we had 2 first-round finishes, which was great on the main card. And we had a crazy fight to kick us off. So let's start off there with Jeremiah Wells and Matthew Salmonsberger. I think it's
Samuelsberger.
This fight was weird.
Okay, honestly, looking at these striking numbers, I did not see this in the fight.
Well, that's on the ground.
That's like Jeremiah Wells landed
yeah.
so many on the ground. I thought what was weird about it was each round he got tagged. He got tagged and dropped like every single round, but he comes back and wins the round with the takedown and the wrestling. And
that's what I was thinking. Like during the whole fight, I was like, Samuelsberger would win this fight, but Wells is stealing the rounds with the grappling.
He was relentless with the takedown. It was
one of the judges scored it for Samuelsberger.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I guess he said, okay, all that grappling just didn't matter at all.
From a stand-up point, Jeremiah Wells got his butt kicked in the stand-up game, but then you do have to take into account it's MMA, it's mixed martial arts, so it's not just we can stand. It's you got to worry about ground.
You look on ESPN
elbow.
and look up how much ground control time there was.
Let's find it here.
Because there was a lot, I remember. And he wasn't only...
11 minutes, 12 seconds of a 15-minute fight. And Salmonsberger had a minute and a half.
Yeah, and he was landing strikes while he was on the ground. So that one judge said all of that 11 minutes just doesn't matter at all.
I mean, you got to think about 12 and a half minutes of the fight was on the ground and 2.5 minutes was on the feet. So in those 2.5 minutes that were on the feet, Jeremiah Wells was getting rocked. I mean, my goodness. His striking is very wild. It's not very calculated. Every time he was swinging wild, Salmonsberger was just tagging him up, and he was dropping him, but he couldn't finish him off. I mean, in Wells' last fight against Court McGee, we saw that, and it worked out for him. But this time I think he's going to have to go back and fix his striking. His wrestling is there. His grappling is great, but his striking, he's got power. That's the thing with Wells. He's got power. But he's got to
harness it.
Yeah, he's got to harness that in and get that precision striking. So
this man looks like he's got scoliosis in his abs.
Yeah, he does have weird abs. It's like
it's all curved.
The curves.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe the way he does sit-ups or something. That is weird.
Okay.
But what is this is welterweight, so I mean, honestly, I don't see either one of these guys fighting somebody in the top 15 just yet.
No.
I think both of them got a lot of work to do. Salmonsberger needs to stop the takedown, work on ground game altogether. And
this was a fight between a dominant wrestler and a dominant striker. Yeah,
a dominant wrestler.
And they're not good in either in the other position.
Yeah.
They're only good in that one.
What we're seeing is, especially at welterweight, which I say this, and the champion is primarily a striker. I think we're getting into you have to be so well-rounded, because if you are just a good striker but you don't have any ground game, it's very hard. You're more than the exception than the rule. And I understand we have 2 champions, Israel Adesanya and Leon Edwards, that are primarily strikers you don't see go to the ground that often.
I feel like they're the exception.
They are the exception, not the rule. I mean, you look at every other weight class, you have you have John Jones, who's probably the best well-rounded guy there is. You got Brandon Moreno, who's a wrestler who can strike. You got Aljamain, that's a wrestler that can strike. You got Volk, that's
just good at everything.
Well-rounded. He is very well-rounded. You have Islam Makhachev, who is like the epitome of wrestling, that can also has hands. Leon and Izzy are those guys that have the that are the exception, not the rule.
But I know Izzy can grapple whenever he needs to.
Yeah, I mean, Leon can too. Leon grappled with Kamaru and actually did pretty well.
They're good
It's
enough at
the
grappling
preferred-
to be able to get back up. That's like, so they're good enough so they can get back to the position where they can
Yeah.
dominate.
I think
Yeah.
if you're just a one-dimensional dude in this sport, you're really just relying on matchups in your career. Like you can be matched up with the dude that's completely opposite of you, maybe a striker and a wrestler, and one of them is going to get dominated depending on if it's on the feet or on the ground. So
Yeah. I mean, even in the women's, Zhang Wei Li, she can do both. Amanda Nunes can do both. Alexa Grassa can do both. So we see that.
Shevchenko can do both. She was just
yeah.
previously.
And then, I
Yeah.
mean, even Jamal Hill, who's primarily a striker, but we saw in the
He can
Glover
wrestle.
fight, he can wrestle. He's got some grappling. So if you are just primarily one dimensional, you will have a lot of trouble here. But hats off to these gentlemen. They put on a pretty interesting fight, pretty weird fight you don't see very often.
They both seem fairly new to the UFC.
yeah,
anyway.
I think they're
Yeah.
he's what,
Like
four
fourth
fights
fight
in.
in. Yeah. So a lot of room to grow.
Absolutely. Now, the
was
women's fight
stupid
on
website.
here, because the rest of them we can talk about for a while. The women's fight kind of went how I expected with Osman. Is that how you'd say it? Osman?
Lucindo.
Lucindo.
Osman Lucindo. I thought she would be winning. Watching her previous fights coming in against Walker, I thought she would win. She's only had one other fight in the UFC. She was the favorite though by a lot. So whatever organization she came from before, she's pretty good. But like I said, she got 4 takedowns in the whole round. The striking, I felt like she was winning the striking as well, and it's just
She was just overall better,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
it's just one of those. For a lady who had 4 takedowns, she only had 46 seconds of control time.
Oh, wow.
She was just a better fighter last night when they faced off. Nothing really exciting happened during this fight.
So, when you look at the total strikes, it's not just one thing to look at how many strikes were thrown, but also the percentage. What is that, 46? Is that 40 or 40?
46.
46.
46%
Walker's.
and then 21%. That just tells you how much better, like, at striking
Actually,
that she was.
Walker
Like that.
Walker threw more strikes, like 20 more strikes than her.
Yeah,
Lucindo.
She landed 26 less too.
Yeah,
Well, that just looking at the accuracy just tells you like how much better of a performance that they had.
Yeah.
Because you can see maybe these numbers were like, what if Walker had more strikes, but her accuracy was at like 5%? She just
Yeah.
threw like 500 strikes and only landed.
I mean, you got to think for every
10.
10 she was landing 2.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's total
So-
strikes. That's not punches to the head. That's punches, kicks, elbows, shoulder strikes, whatever you want to put there. She threw, but no, I agreed.
Because these striking numbers are kind of like they're a little more like dominant towards Lucindo, but they're close enough to the middle to say, okay, it kind of seemed like could have been a close fight.
Yeah.
But then when you look at the accuracy and you're like, yeah, I don't think it was a close fight.
No,
I don't think it was.
I don't think it was either. I had it 30-27
Yeah.
for Lucindo. It was a pretty dominant performance by her. And are they flyweight?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good to get some more women in the flyweight division there, get some more blood that can face the top. I mean, I know we have a new champion, but
we need some more hype in that division.
yeah, that division.
It's just a couple people at the top, and that's it.
Yeah, I mean, kind of with the bantamweights right now, it's the same way. Just because they have such a dominant champion, the change at champion at flyweight here recently has shaken things up a little bit.
It's difficult when there's only like a few women's divisions and only like 2 champs.
Yeah.
Whenever that happens, you're like,
Well, apparently there's 5. Is there 5? Technically, there's 5.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, there's
This is
4
pound for
women's
pound.
divisions, and Amanda Nunes is the champion over both of them. And featherweight's not even a real division. Let's be real. There's no one in there. I honestly don't know why they're holding on to that. A lady called out Amanda Nunes for the 145-pound belt, and I'm like, no, there's no one there. There's no rankings. There's no official people. I feel like that's just kept around for her to keep her double champ status.
It's just for marketing.
Yeah, I think it is for marketing. It's just annoying because she hasn't defended that belt. She hasn't defended it. Yeah, she did. She defended it once, I believe.
Well, we can't really go back and.
Can you click on her? I want to check and see if this is right.
Let's see.
Because let's see. She beat.
View fight history?
Yeah, okay. So okay. I think Megan Anderson right there was the fight at 145.
Anderson, this one?
Yeah, click that.
Wait. How do you go back and look at it?
Just click on
You
there.
just
All right.
Nope. Because oh my goodness. Well, that was fairly recently. That was not.
Okay, there it is.
Oh, it
That's the
was.
last
Featherweight.
time. My bad. So it's been 2 years since she defended that belt, and usually it's not like that. And this was a fast defense. I mean, she took her out.
Yeah, that was.
It looked pretty. I think we watched this one together.
We did.
Yeah.
I remember this fight.
And
I remember looking and be like,
I mean, she only landed
I
2
don't-
strikes.
yeah, she only landed. I mean, it's Amanda Nunes. So honestly, it wouldn't shock me if they got rid of this division. They probably should, but they probably
they're going to be
won't.
taking a. I don't think they will for
Get
a
some
long
women,
time.
get some 145ers in here. My goodness, it's just there. Sorry, that's my rant.
They have a couple
for
of people.
now,
Does some other organizations have a featherweight?
Yeah.
Pull some people from there. Give them an offer.
PFL has a 155. They have a women's lightweight
Huh.
division.
Interesting.
So yeah, good. Hats off to Lucindo though for getting.
What
the
about a
job
women's
done.
heavyweight?
I don't think there is one.
That would be interesting.
It would be interesting.
That might mess up. Some
Do we need to
people
look this
politically.
up?
Try it. I mean, just MMA
I'm probably gonna regret this.
women's heavyweight division.
Heavyweight
MMA right there. Women's heavyweight MMA.
MMA. Google listens to us. Women's heavyweight. Wait. Do we need to watch this video? Here, we'll skip through it after this ad.
Forms and response to you. Shop now at sleepnumber.com.
I'm on Grammarly Premium.
Oh my.
No, it's 2 women.
Wow.
Mackenzie Brooks versus Skylar Witten. But what is
B2
heavyweight to the
fighting-
women?
Oh,
okay.
yeah. So it's
Still heavyweight.
Heavyweight.
Yeah, so they are okay. Nothing against them. Not trying to say that. I just wondered.
I just didn't think that
I
it
didn't
would be
know.
a thing. Yeah.
I mean, if in the UFC, I don't know if it
No,
would be
they'll
that popular.
They won't go above 145 in the UFC for
Yeah.
women. I don't think. Okay. Well, we found it.
Okay.
B2 fighting series. So I guess that's
All right.
Interesting.
Ryan Battle.
Okay. So
Yeah. Well, hats off to her. Now the co-main event on this card.
the no contest.
No, the
co-main. Well,
That's not the co-main.
there we go.
Oh, okay. We're skipping to the co-main.
There it
Yes.
is.
Bruno Silva gets it done against a longtime veteran
This-
in Brad
Do you think-
Tavares.
This
Do you
was a
think
crazy
early
knockout.
stoppage or perfect stoppage?
I agree with the ref on this one. I think
You think
it was
so?
done, and I thought Brad Tavares was going to take a lot more damage if the ref didn't stop. Unnecessary damage.
You think so? I
Do you want to
he
go
was
back?
Still,
You want to go back and look
he
Yes,
was, he
I
was still
100%,
very conscious.
100%
because he
agree with
seemed
it.
like he was still in there. I think the fight probably would have ended a few seconds later, but I don't think it should have been ended there because it looked like he was still able to fight and it looked like he was still fighting. He was in a position where he was protecting himself. But let's see. Let's go.
I truly think I agree with the ref on this one.
I mean,
Because
yeah.
really, he stopped it literally right after the knockout punch, which
Which one? This
it
one.
was probably like it looked like a flash knockout into a fall. He fell backwards into the fence, and then I think Mark Smith just like jumped on it way too early.
Is this
Stupid commercial.
I just want to see the knockout. I probably passed it.
you
Yeah, I
passed
did.
it.
Too far. Oh,
Look, okay, watch. This is perfect, actually.
Boom. Caught him right there.
Well, no, here it is.
Yeah.
Here it is.
Okay.
So knee,
He starts it.
and then
Boom.
boom.
But
Look,
watch,
he's-
watch.
Look, his eyes are fully aware.
Look, he hit him once right there.
Wait,
Mark
wait
was
for the
already
other-
stopping it.
Wait, for the other angle.
angle. I know what the other angle is going to show.
He's like,
He's done right there.
yeah, but look, he's like, he started to cover
he,
up.
Yeah, he's turtled up. I agree. I agree with the ref. I'm 100%.
It would have stopped it anyway, but
I think he would have taken 5 more hits at most of unnecessary damage.
I
agree. I agree with.
It was a crazy knockout,
Mark
though.
Smith. Yeah, it was nice. Bruno Silva got it done, man. I was kind of thinking that Brad Tavares was going to win this fight, and they both had success there at the beginning, but Bruno Silva is good. He is very, very good. I think he could fight someone who's ranked next with that kind of win over Brad Tavares.
Yeah.
I remember when Izzy fought him, actually. Every time I see him, I think of when Izzy fought him for the first time.
Who?
Brad Tavares, when he fought him, when Izzy was coming up before he was champion.
Oh, did he just destroy him?
He knocked him out.
Oh, okay. So,
It was kind of like that knockout. I mean, he just kind of flatlined him. But
okay.
yeah, Bruno Silva, man, he got the job done, and
It
hats
was
off to
a
him.
crazy knockout.
It was a crazy knockout. It was come out of nowhere. I didn't expect it. When it happened, I was sitting on the couch with Mackenzie. I was like, "Oh, you gotta look. We gotta go back and see the replay on that." So,
It was nice.
yeah, that was super nice.
I didn't blink. I actually like saw it that
Yeah,
time. Yeah.
it was pretty sweet. All right, the no contest that I thought was a knockout.
Okay.
Man, Bobby Green has a weird style.
that's why he's interesting to watch.
Yeah,
He's not even ranked, but
No, he's
people
not.
know his name.
He was
and
ranked until he lost against Drew Dober, I think, and that's what they flipped. But
Oh.
I will say this: there was a close fight. I thought it was close between the both of them. I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that Bobby Green was landing more.
I thought
but
Bobby
it
won
looked
the
pretty similar.
I thought he was winning, but I don't think he was like pulling off with it.
No,
Yeah.
they're pretty even.
I just hate when things happen like this. And Bobby Green went to the press conference, and he acknowledged that the clash of heads is what knocked him down. But then he was like, he was trying to throw up an arm bar or an arm triangle.
No.
He wasn't out. And then I started hitting on him, and then I knocked him out. Now they're going to take my win away. And he was upset.
No, I agree with the no contest.
I do too. I agree with it.
I think what should have happened was the fight should have been paused for a while, but like after the clash of heads, like pause, let's reset, because that like
Let's
that
review it.
That knocked him down, and he was on the ground because of that, and he was probably still dazed.
But
and
what's his name? Keith Peterson. He just stopped the fight, which from his angle he couldn't even see.
He
couldn't see what
it.
happened. But if he could see what happened, then he probably should have done like an official timeout to get it under review, and then they could have.
Yeah, because
then continue from the feet.
how I remember, they came in like this, and I think Keith Peterson was like standing over here where he couldn't. see the crowd.
He was on the other side.
Yeah, he was over here behind Bobby Green's head. So yeah, I agree with it, and I hate it for Bobby Green. I hate it for Jared Gordon too, Jared Gordon, because
That could have been a big.
that could have been a big win. Like if he would have went on to win the fight, it would have propelled him possibly to a top 15 spot or to a top 15 fight. All the bad blood between Patty and Gordon right now. So that stinks for him because he had a prime opportunity and it was taken away just by an accident. I wouldn't mind seeing him run it back. It was a good fight. Bobby Green's always fun to watch, but
Yeah.
I don't think Bobby can be that upset. I mean, it happens. It's accidental. Kind of go back and see what these guys.
I mean,
I would have been upset if they did disqualification.
Yeah,
if they did,
it wasn't on
if they did
purpose.
disqualification, I would have.
Oh yeah, there was no way that
boycotted.
There's no way that was disqualification.
I was
worthy.
nervous they were going to give him the win anyways. I'm like, I don't agree with that.
I don't agree because like that was an accidental headbutt. Like he didn't purposely do that to do something to knock him out. It was accidental, got him on the ground, and then in the position that he was in, he was able to finish him. So.
I would have said, look, ask both the fighters if they want to continue, or else it's a no contest. And if they both say they want to continue,
I think once the ref says over,
it's over.
You can't start it again.
that's dumb.
Okay.
All right, main
So-
event. Main event. We have a guy who said, I will wait, I will eat, I will rest, and I'll wait some more for the heavyweight title shot, which I absolutely agree. I don't know who could argue in the heavyweight division who deserves a heavyweight title shot more than Sergey Pavlovich, which I understand.
He has worked his butt off to get to this point.
I don't know how they said it last night, but we have been saying his last name wrong.
How have we been?
It's not Pavlovich. It's like he corrected somebody and they
Pavlovich?
fixed it. And I don't remember how they fixed it. I'm going to keep saying Pavlovich. That grin right there. You see that?
Yeah.
That's scary.
That's scary.
Did he say it in his interview
No,
or
it was the post fight with that lady standing right there.
Oh.
Yeah, the Russian translator said it. But man, I mean,
Okay.
the guy's a monster. I will say this though, he was getting tagged. Curtis was tagging
He
him,
was.
but he was just walking right through it. Curtis is not. Curtis hits hard. Too.
I was
It didn't
surprised.
really wobble him.
I was surprised that Curtis didn't try to wrestle, because that's like
That shocked me too.
his forte right there, is wrestling, right?
yeah.
So
Wow.
That fight is
and
when
going
I was
into this
introduced to him.
fight as Curtis, you gotta acknowledge this guy has 5 consecutive first round finishes on the feet. Well, I think a couple of them are on the ground,
But they all started at the feet.
but yeah, all started on the feet. And if you're in Curtis's position, you gotta say, I should probably take this guy down, or else I'm getting knocked out.
He has never gone past the first round.
no.
Nope.
And that kind of hurts him because we don't know where his true stamina is.
Yeah.
But when you have hands like that, man, I mean, when he lands on you, Curtis decided not to.
He knocked him out with the
shoot.
jab.
Yeah, he decided to not shoot for a takedown until he was hurt, and Sergey
too late.
just stuffed it so hard. I was like,
Yeah,
why did
that's-
Curtis turn into a boxing fight? I don't know if he just didn't really think he was real, he didn't respect the power and speed.
Let's see.
I text you guys, I've never seen someone have the speed and power that Sergey has and can throw that fast and hit that fast.
Yeah. It's ridiculous. He did. I was surprised that Curtis was doing pretty well on the feet. Like it looked to be a pretty close boxing match from my point of view.
Curtis has good hands. Like he's not just a wrestler.
He was pretty good.
He has good hands, and we have to remember. I think we don't give Curtis his due because he's not big in the spotlight. I mean,
he's had his fair share of losses.
He's 17-4.
Yeah.
And you understand he's only lost to 3 people his whole career: Francis Ngannou, Derek Lewis, and Sergey Pavlovich.
The hardest hitters.
Hitters to come through too.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's just his
He's just got a
vice
weak
or what.
chin.
But yeah, I will
Especially
say
a guy with a beard.
the first
like-
hit that he took from Sergey, he ate it. But you can't
Yeah.
take many shots from this guy. I mean, that jab that set him down. My goodness. So I hate it for Curtis Blades because Curtis is a heck of a fighter, man. But Sergey is just a different monster. He's my dark horse. He's been my dark horse for a little bit to win. Now,
Does he get title shot after Stipe?
yes,
or
100%.
Yeah,
I don't
think
see
he
what
does.
I don't see what else you can do.
let's see.
Because Tom's hurt, Curtis just got beat, Tuvasa just got beat. Alexander Volkov won his fight, but you're jumping all the way. You're jumping over a guy who deserves it.
Sergey's number 3 right now, and Sirgan has already fought for the title.
Yeah.
Stipe's getting the title. He's next in line.
He
That's
has
the
to
only
be.
logical. What, you're gonna skip him and do Tom or?
No, Tom's injured.
Yeah.
Ty lost. Ty's coming off of two losses, right?
And one of them to Sergey. Like,
Yeah.
you can't.
And then you have Volkov, who's coming off a win against Alexander Romanov, but why jump all the way down to 7 when you have a guy at 3 that's clearly deserving?
The
of
only
title shot?
the only two people that were supposed to get the title shot were Pavlovich and Blades, and now they fought each other for that number 1 spot.
Yeah.
So there's no.
Pavlovich will get it. We won't see it till next year. Jones and Stipe will fight at the end of this year, and depending on the winner, which I think will be Jones, Stipe will probably retire right off to the sunset, and then Sergey will jump in there. I don't know how Sergey does against Jones. Jones is a different animal. Jones's mind is what separates him from everyone else.
What if Sergey beats Jones?
Oh, that'd be crazy. It's not out of the realm of possibility. I mean, if he touches Jones, I think he can put him to sleep.
But we're probably not going to see Jones for a while.
Dude,
Well, they're fighting in probably November. I think
Is it set in stone yet?
it's getting close.
Because he's probably going to disappear.
Jones is the worst about these fights, at least recently.
He fights,
But
wins, and
Well,
then disappears.
Jones said that this could be his retirement fight with Stipe. So if that's the case, then you're probably going to have to do Sergey and Surreal.
And Surreal is just up here, just
Surreal
like
is just-
kind of the title gatekeeper.
And I'll tell you this, Surreal is technical, but man, you get that.
I mean, he almost got knocked out by Ty.
Tuivasa.
And that's what you get landed on.
Sergey would probably beat Surreal.
I agree.
So
I think that he has a good shot at beating Jones, but like I said, Jones is just a different animal. It's hard to say who's going to win and who's going to lose that one. So.
yeah,
But that was UFC Fight Night 91, Polovich versus Blades. And now we are on to some news. We have some fight announcements to announce here. We got Sean Brady, who's coming off a loss against Bilal Muhammad. He is fighting our boy, Jack Della how you say his name?
Madalena.
Madalena.
Yeah.
So, that's a big fight
That'll
for
be a good-
Jack.
That's
That is
good.
going to be
Yeah.
a
That'll
banger.
shoot him way up in
that
the.
shoots him up at least 5 spots, according to
if he,
this place.
But
'cause
Sean Brady is
he
no
wins-
scrub. He's had one loss. to
Randy
Bilal
Brown wasn't a
Muhammad.
scrub either. Just saying.
Randy, I don't know who's Randy. Is that guy who used to work at
yes.
y'all's place? I will say, this is going to be a good fight. That is a good fight. Really good. I'm excited for that. Bellator, which we don't talk about Bellator much on here, they had a fantastic knockout for their championship last night. I don't know what weight class it was, but look at that. If you scroll over, you'll probably see the video of it.
Was
It's
this
knee?
This was for the championship?
Yep.
Wow.
The guy that got knocked out was the champion, and the guy that knocked him
Ooh.
out was the. I mean,
That's
look at
tough.
it. He's out with a knee. He timed the knee perfectly.
Where's
Boom.
the video?
No, there's no video on it, I
That's just
guess.
a picture.
I saw the video of it. I think it was on ESPN. the
Yeah,
other
I
day.
think that was a different thing, but we have a lot of fight announcements to announce.
Oh,
we have,
yes,
yeah.
we do.
we have Robert Whitaker versus what's his? That's not them. What is it?
Hold on.
Dricus Duplessis.
Dracus Duplessis.
Duplessis or
Is it
Duplessis?
Duplessis or Duplessis?
And Izzy said, "Man, I want you to win."
Yeah, because I think he really wants. He doesn't want to fight Rob. Like if Rob wins, Rob is in a weird position. He's in the same position as Max Holloway is. I'm beating all the contenders, but I've already fought the champ. twice. Max has fought him 3 times down there at featherweight. It's like, ooh, how am I going to win this?
Here's the thing. Rob wins this. If you look at Duplessis' last fight, I don't think he has the skills.
No, I think Rob wins this fight too. I don't see. Duplessis
I think Rob
winning
finishes
this.
him, actually. I think the skill gap is there.
Yeah, I could see it. But we have Robert
We'll see.
Whitaker and Duplessis. Who's the next one? Jalen Turner and our boy Dan Hooker. That'll be a good fight. I'm nervous for Dan Hooker. Robbie Lawler and Nico Price. These are 2 old veterans that are going to bang it out. That'll be fun to watch.
Probably get a double retirement.
Yeah, that'll be fun to watch. And then Wes's boy Sean Strickland is taking on a bus. Literally,
He's taking on a bus.
his name is a bus. I think that's how you say it. A bus.
ABUS.
Right. Abus.
Magomedov.
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 Magomedov. I was trying to. It's like I know how to pronounce that. I'll tell you what, Sean. I have a lot of respect for Sean Strickland because no one wants to fight this guy, and Sean Strickland says, "I'll do it."
Well, from his point of view, he said that he could either wait and wait and wait for like 6 months and maybe get offered a shot with someone up there. But he said that the UFC is really pushing for Dricus Duplessis. So he's like, I can either wait 6 months or I can just fight some lower guys, and I just want to fight.
Yeah,
So
he just wants to
that's
fight.
That's what he said.
I hope he wins, to be honest with you. I want Sean Strickland to win. I don't even know who this A-Bus guy is, but A-Bus. I think it's
He's
how
not
you say
even
it.
ranked.
No, but he's good,
But his
dude.
last name is Magomedov.
And you know he can freaking wrestle. I can tell you
Yeah.
that. He's
Well,
one of those
maybe-
Dagestan guys that can wrestle.
Eh.
So,
That'll be it'll be a tough one for Sean.
yeah, it'll
but-
be tough. It'll be a good fight, though, I think.
Oh,
It'll
okay.
be pretty good.
What other ones do we
Let's
have?
see.
Let's start with this one.
Josh Emmett and Topuria
New
That's
date.
gonna be good.
are have a new date. They're fighting June 24th in Jacksonville, Florida. That'll be a good one. Josh Emmett's coming off a loss to the interim champion Yair. And Topuria, I think, is coming off a win over Bryce Mitchell.
Yeah,
that'll
I
be
believe
good.
so.
Topuria is a monster, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Middleweight, we have a top 5 clash up between Marvin Vettori
Well-
and Jared Cannonier.
6 and 5.
No, UFC, they are top.
I think
Oh,
they're
are
top
they?
5.
If you look at UFC rankings, they should be both top 5. Yep, 3 and 4.
Oh,
I don't
okay.
know.
So these,
Either that's ESPN's rankings or that's MMA Fighting's rankings.
but why does any other organization's rankings matter other than the UFC's?
That's why I say what the UFC. I don't know.
I
That's-
like. Why does it? Why
they
does
put their
it
own.
matter?
I think MMA Fighting has their own rankings. So,
maybe
But
it doesn't make sense.
anyways,
to me, but,
according
you
to
know.
the actual website, Marvin,
Okay.
top 5 guys, Marvin Vettori. Man, we are getting a summer full of just violence.
Yeah, I
It's so
know.
fun.
It's gonna be awesome.
That'll be a good one. And then we got a new date for Charles Oliveira
Yeah.
and Benny Aldariush. Oh man, this is going to be a good one.
This
2 top
one.
5 lightweights. And if Dariush wins, you can't deny him anymore. I don't think you can deny him now.
anymore.
He
And
should have had the title shot long ago.
He had the UFC promise that if Charles pulls out, then I'm going for a title shot. And the UFC's smart because that Vancouver card was really weak. It was a weak card. You had a trilogy fight that a lot of people don't want to see.
Oh, the Pena.
So it's smart to put that there. And the UFC's smart to put this next barn burner of a fight that's happening in like 2 weeks in Newark, New Jersey. We have
Yes.
Gilbert Burns, who's just coming off a win against Jorge Masvidal. And then 2 weeks earlier, or 2 months earlier, he's coming off another win. And now he's coming back to fight a top 5 welterweight in Bilal Muhammad. This fight's going to be great
This is Gilbert's 3rd fight this year.
in 5 months.
That's
Because
crazy.
he fought in January, he fought in March, and now he's fighting in May.
This guy is insane.
Guy is an absolute G. I don't know how you can hate Gilbert Burns. He's active. He's fun to watch. He is just, oh my goodness. He's what?
He'll finally humble Bilal.
I hope so. I want Gilbert to win so bad because he is in the same boat as Bilal of Dariush, right? He's in that
Yeah.
same boat of he should already get a title shot,
Yeah.
but he's not.
I mean,
And-
it was like he already fought Usman,
And the
and there were other guys. I mean,
The UFC smart. The UFC smart because this UFC 88 was a weaker card. A lot of people didn't want to watch it. You put Gilbert Burns on there, you're going to get people to watch it. So
Oh, yeah.
good job on the UFC. So did we talk about that one? That's another good one. Chris Curtis and
Nazardine Imavov.
Nazardine.
Chris
in-
Curtis
on
could potentially
Vancouver.
take the number 15 spot in that division.
That would be nice for
Let's
him. I think
see.
that would be nice. We got some smack talk between Paulo Costa and Jan Blachowicz. Raquel Pennington's coming back on May 20th.
I'm seeing if we posted any more.
Oh, yeah,
fight.
Nate
Did
Diaz.
you see this one?
Yeah, you
It
sent
was-
that to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's
I just-
wrestle. Let's wrestle.
Just wondered. Yeah. Okay.
But Nate Diaz
Um,
choked out one
let's
of.
see.
Oh, yeah. Nate Diaz choked out one of Jake Paul's friends. Charles
Yeah.
Oliveira is racing
Oh.
horses.
Charles Oliveira is a horse racer.
Did you not see this?
Yeah, I saw that.
Okay.
That was.
yeah.
I thought it was fake until I heard the announcer say,
Charles
Charles
Oliveira."
Oliveira, the former UFC lightweight champion.
That is just crazy.
I was like, no way.
Max Holloway coming after a pretty dominant win, called out the Korean Zombie. That'll be fun to see.
Yeah. I think we
Talked about
that.
Bryce Mitchell coming back. I think that's
Where's-
all the fight announcements.
Is that all of them?
That is all the fight announcements.
That was a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, and Sergey, he was at the casino. I think before his fight.
Oh yeah, he was just so relaxed. He was just
He said,
Chilling.
"So what happened was I won, and then I used that money to play more, and then I lost it all."
yeah. He's like, I won some more, and then I lost it all.
Like, welcome to casinos,
Yeah,
my
that's what
friend.
happens in Vegas. That's what happens in Vegas. So
Let's see.
June 10th. Yeah, that's the Vancouver card.
Yep.
I'm just
I think that's all the fight announcements, man. I
probably
I think it is. If there's really any other news, it's drama and stuff that happened throughout the week.
Hermanson Allen.
Hermanson and Allen.
Oh yeah,
I found
got
one
that
that we
one.
didn't cover.
That's what. Yeah, Hermanson.
That one-
and Allen. That'll be fun.
Click on that.
That'll be a nice, fun fight.
Why do I need to click on it? We can see it right there.
Is there more? There's more fights to the right.
No, I think.
Uh,
No, it's just the ones we've already.
let's see.
We've already covered them.
Yeah, we already
Okay.
covered this. Okay.
Yeah, that.
So I think we have all of them now.
Yeah, I think
I
that's
feel good about
so
that.
guys, man, the summer is ramping up with the UFC. So make sure that you watch those fights. I think it's really all. I mean, there's some drama and stuff
I don't
going
think there's
on,
much
but,
more.
but it's not really anything to talk about. So. All right, next week, April 29th, we are coming to you with another UFC fight night in Las Vegas, where we have Yadong Song
Yadong Song
versus Ricky Simone.
Ricky Simone.
Eli, try to pronounce this name.
Oh my goodness,
There's no.
Ulisicek.
Ozjacek.
Ozjacek.
Oh, yeah,
I was
yeah,
close.
yeah, yeah.
Ozjacek.
Ozjacek.
I was not far off. See,
Okay.
rest of these guys, I know who they are, but they're not like barn burner.
I realized that people from Poland, you just go, Ozjacek.
All right, who you guys think's going to win that main fight?
Dude, this guy looks.
Dude, he
Looks
looks like a
some-
samurai, dude.
He looks like from some old.
Yeah.
Like he looks like he's from a village, and he's like one of
Oh
those
my goodness.
a wise samurai.
Wise samurai.
Yeah. So who's the main fight?
I mean, this far down, there's not going to be any.
Oh my goodness, Brian Kellner is all the way that far. That guy's
Killer.
an awesome fighter.
Okay.
guy's an
Let's
awesome
see.
fighter.
That's it.
We have Yadong Song versus Ricky Simone. Who you guys taking on this?
Yadong Song.
Let's see.
I got you, Dong.
This is the classic striker versus wrestler.
I'm gonna go with Song on this. Who's he training
Scroll
with
down.
now? Who's
Scroll down a little bit. I think he's training with either.
Like-
where's the takedown average? I thought that would show up there. I think I'll click on it. It'll tell you what gym he's at.
takedown average right here.
That's what I'm saying. Right there is going to make a
That's
huge difference.
crazy.
You're telling me he gets 6.5 takedowns per 3-round fights. So that's going to be hard. Click on Yadong's song. It should, if you scroll all the way down to the bottom.
Is it all the way down to the... Oh, yeah.
Team Alpha Male in California.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So he's working on wrestling with
So-
Uriah Faber.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got a good gym.
Yeah, he's 25. He's young.
I'm going with Song on this one.
Well, I'll tell you what. If it's on the feet, he's gonna piece the crap
He
out
is
of
going to
him.
win, but man, Ricky Simone is not no chump, dude. He is so good.
Neither is Yadong.
No, he's
Come
not.
on.
He's not bad, but I'm going to have to go with Ricky on this one. I think the grappler is going to win here. I think Ricky Simone's grappling is going to be a little too much for Yadong Song.
Well, we'll
So-
see.
I'm going with Ricky by unanimous decision.
I'm going with Song by unanimous decision.
I'll get Song by knockout. Third
I
round. Third
I
round.
knew Wes was going to do that. Third round knockout. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, join back in with us next week as we recap Yadong Song versus Ricky Simone. And then don't forget, UFC 288 is coming up in a couple weeks as well. You have a good amount of fights ahead of us, and some of them are pretty good. I mean, the whole summer, once we hit the middle of June, we've got some barn burners for you. Well, the UFC does. We don't. But we will definitely be covering them. So join us next week as we recap this fight night where we have Song versus Simone. That's how you say it. Not
Yeah.
Simon. Almost.
It might be Simon. I'm not sure.
No, it's Ricky
No, I
Simone.
think it's Simone.
It's Ricky Simone. So thank you for joining us. Tune in again next week.